Hi guys, and welcome to this little show called On the Way Back. Actually, a few days ago I had a friend who got in touch and he was saying that it'd be great if I would be able to share a little bit more about myself when it comes to photography. Lots of you knows my picture, but probably don't know that much about myself. And I thought, well, why not? Well, let's try it through little stories from my life. So this may be not for everybody who is here just for the photos, but if you would like to learn more about myself, that would be great. Now, why we calling it On the Way Back is anytime we're heading somewhere for a photo shoot, always on the way there, that's all we're talking about, the location, the light, what we're gonna do. Everybody's super excited and the conversation only goes one way. But the thing is, when it happens, and especially when the photo shoot went really well and we bring him home lots of nice pictures, the excitement is so high that people start to open up a little bit and talk about themselves. And every so often you get a really interesting story. So today a little bit more about myself, and I thought next time I'll tell you how I got to photography, and I also have in my head another thing about who inspired me and who do I really follow when it comes to photography and so on. So there is a little story today about my English teacher, but going all the way back, for those who don't know, I'm from Czech Republic. I was born there in 1986, so I will be hitting 33 this year, which is great. I'm having brilliant time. And I was born in Prague. I was living there for 17 years. And through all my family, there is a huge hospitality way. We have historically lots of people working in hospitality or having hospitality businesses. So when I hit it about 15 years, when it was time to choose where to move on and what to specialize on, I obviously went for hospitality because that was kind of easy choice. So that's what I did, and that did have a lot of bonuses for me later on throughout my career. But I started to study it, and we got this teacher, and I mean, she must have been teaching for about 40, 50 years. So I thought that she was quite damaged, and who wouldn't be? I mean, 40, 50 years teaching must be quite difficult. But what happened is when I started to study English with her, which by then I was studying probably for 8 years, and I didn't have any fun with it. To be very honest, when it comes to studying for me, I'm really bad at sitting in a class and learning about something. I need to get out there and see it and try it and experience it. So it's something like for me sitting in a class and trying to tell me how the life is going to be. Life you have to go and live. Nobody can tell you otherwise. And in fact, some of the best managers I ever worked with and most amazing people learn lots of their trade through the experience, not by sitting in the classes. So nothing against people who study, go ahead, do it, enjoy it, brilliant. But this is the way it works for me. So anyway, I started to study this. I was 15 years old. I started to study the English. And this teacher did few exams with me. And then at one day, she asked me for a phone number to my mom. So I thought I did something wrong, but never mind. Anyway, I gave her the phone number, and I can't really say I was too active anyway. I didn't really enjoy it. So I gave her the number. And what she did, she called my mom and she actually told her and apologized, personally really apologized, to say, Mrs. Bors, I'm really sorry, but your son will never speak English. He just doesn't have it in him. It's not that he doesn't want to, but some people are just not talented for the languages and he will never be able to do it. So I wanted to let you know, this is the first year of the 4 years of the hotel school. I wanted to let you know that I will accept the way he is, and it's fine. We don't have to worry about it. I just don't want you to get disappointed in 4 years if I don't manage to teach him English. So my mom, pretty disappointed, but thought, oh, well, she's probably right. Never mind. Anyway, we managed to get through the 4 years together, which was a pain after pain after pain, because obviously she gave up on me and I gave up on her a long time ago. And it was just a battling. But 3 months before the final exam, before the studying was finished, there was suddenly a new contract for the school with the placement being in Scotland. So there was an internship, and you could go for 3 months to Scotland and work in a hotel and try the kind of working experience. Now the thing is, I didn't speak English at all, but I was very good at the hotel stuff because, as I say, it was really easy for me. We have it in the blood, something what we've been doing all time. So I applied to it, and the headmaster really liked me, so he said, okay, you're gonna go, but we need to send somebody with you who will speak really good English. So at least you have somebody who you can speak to who will translate for you. So they choose my friend Thomas, who was a chef, and we get to go. So we're coming to Scotland, and my first time abroad and working. So we went to Montrose. which is a really nice town on the east of Scotland. I'll take you there one day. And when we got there, obviously, disaster. We arrived to Glasgow train station. We missed like 3 trains because we were not able to ask or not able to find out when the train is coming. We didn't understand anybody. You know, the English they teach you at school, the kind of proper, it doesn't sound like anything like the Scottish English. And to be honest, when I lived here longer, I understood that once you understand Scottish English, you will understand every English. And that's been true everywhere else I've been after. So anyway, we got somehow on the train and we made it all the way to Montrose and arrived, and neither one of us understood anything. But I really bit myself and I said, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna prove everyone's wrong. And I went for it. I basically went to work every day and asked every person when he's taught me something else, told me words I didn't know, to write it down for me. And then in the night, 2-3 hours, I would spend translating it, looking for the words and so on. So the time went on, 3 months. And when we were leaving, I was almost fluent. I was speaking so well. I was so happy about me. I was doing waiting, just to come back to that. I was a waiter, and people were just so friendly here in Scotland. And you know, they try and they repeat it for you and they write it down for you. And so that's the way I learned English. So when I got back home, I had to finish the final exam. So after the summer in September, I went for the final exam, and there is my teacher winking at me, thinking, well, I will let him just pass, and that will be it. Thankfully, I don't have to teach this guy English anymore because he will never be able to speak. And I got to pull a question out of like a little box, and I picked number 25, and the question was, and the theme of what you were supposed to talk about was, what do you want to do in the future? And then you go for 5 minutes to the site and you're supposed to write yourself a notes. And then with the notes, you're going in front of the teachers who will give you the marks. So anyway, after the 5 minutes, I have 4 A4 pages written with English about what I'm going to talk about. So she came over, check on me how I'm doing, and she saw all these 4 pages, and the smile kind of went down. And I went to the table and we started a conversation, and I started to talk to them back and forwards. And I'm quite adamant, except the grammar, I spoke close to the level of both of the teachers. So they were both shocked. And I remember I wasn't allowed to continue because all we talked about with the teacher was why I didn't study until now, what's wrong with me, why I was hiding all of that behind. Anyway, never mind. Bless her. I did learn English at the end. And actually, to be honest, the first visit in Scotland was life-changing for me. I finished my studies. I went back there again. I spent there 3 years. And when I was 21, I fulfilled my dream and I went to work on a cruise ship. And the company I worked for was Disney company in States. They had 4 ships and I worked for them. And that was life-changing. Disney company, probably one of the best companies I ever worked for, really put their pressure on creativity and individual efforts and being able to do stuff and without limits, and it was just amazing. So that English and that story helped me to get through and start to work for Disney, which then changed my life. But I will talk to you about that maybe another time. But here is a little story about my English teacher who thought I will never speak English. So guys, hope you enjoyed. Come and see me back again tomorrow. I will talk about how I started a photography, and have a brilliant day. Now we are heading back to Glencoe, and hopefully we're gonna have a brilliant day.